ancient monk high in the Tibetan mountains that has reached an altered state near nirvana, kind of a blob-vana, if you will. And there are rumors that he has attained a state of 0 calorie burn.
Couch body.
I'm gonna get myself a modem. 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 I'm gonna get myself a modem.
Hello and welcome to Lunch Therapy. We're live today, going out through all our different venues. TikTok, even. Let's do it with TikTok. We're also out there on YouTube and on Twitch and Facebook. So glad to have you here. Today I've got a great guest. It's Interview Friday. And I have Jeff King coming to me from, originally from Rockville, Maryland, out there on the East Coast. Behind me is an artist's rendition of Evel Knievel. I don't know if you're big fans of Evel Knievel, but let us not forget Evel Knievel, because he did a lot for bus jumping. He did so many great things for bus jumping. And speaking of people that do great things, I want to thank all my Patreons. Thank you to everybody out there that supports the show. This is a show that's been going on for, I guess we're in our 6th year, or we're about to get into our 6th year. Lunch Therapy. Couldn't do it without these people: Mike Knox, Todd Lee, Camila Lopez, Liz Lopez, Robert Lopez, Jane Marshall, Jay Patterson, Ivy Palma, Pam Palmieri. She's out there in Michigan doing comedy. Neil Phillips, Seth Word, Jason Edelman. Daniel Muchler, brand new Patreon, and Mary Marks. Thanks so much for contributing to live comedy. Speaking of live comedy, we're going to be having a live show. There's Vernis. You're kidding. She says, you're kidding. 6 years? Well, I think in March it'll be 6 years, but definitely we're coming up on 6 years. And this is the live show. We're doing live shows called Laugh Therapy. What we do is I curate this thing with the best comedians that I know. And this time, this is going to be the second one, the first one of 2026. And we've got a great lineup. We've got Boney is going to be hosting. Boney is my assistant. He is hosting again with his comic genius and remarkable lack of epidermis. And we also have Catherine Yoon, who's a provocative genius of the comedy scene. If you haven't seen her, come on out. We've got Mort Burke, deeply insightful, co-host of Rebranding the Pod. He's been on the show. Ricky Hollywood, who's a commentator for the Rams and also just a master of the crowd work, just hilarious comedian. Michael Rayner. If you haven't seen Michael Rayner, you got to come out just to see him even. Check out his Instagram. He's called the Broken Juggler. And then also we have Judy Carter, who wrote the book, The Comedy Bible, and is an incredible comedy teacher and a veteran comedian. So come on out to the Stray Theater. There's a link in the show notes. I will be performing as well. Go to lunchtherapy.live or joelmarshall.com and get your tickets there. Matt Wright says, I'm like Evel Knievel, except my trick is being brave enough to get out of bed. Sometimes that's just as huge an accomplishment, I gotta tell you. Let's do that. Speaking of getting out of bed, let's breathe. Today we're going to be breathing to something called hypnagogia. This is healing vibrations. It's all explained there. I Einstein. Let's go back and read this thing because it's pretty interesting. Albert Einstein, some of you call him Einstein. Hypnagogia is the threshold between wakefulness and sleep. Insight appears in the mind before the mind interferes. Albert Einstein believed this state unlocked creativity. You know when you're just starting to drift off to sleep? You're in that kind of void there. He would hold heavy objects in his hands as he drifted off. And then when his grip relaxed, the object fell and woke him up. And then I guess he'd start taking notes. Is that what it is? Bringing the insights back into awareness, allowing him to document them. Well, that's interesting. I never heard of that. All right, so let's do 3 deep breaths at the top of the show. We do 3 deep breaths in through your nose, out through the toes. Hold it. Let it go. In through the nose, out through the toes. Hold it. And let it go. Robert Louis Stevenson. Did he do hypnagogia? Am I pronouncing it right? Probably not. In through the nose, out through the toes. My guest today, Jeff, is in the green room with Boney, and they are breathing right along with all of us. Breathing is something you can do anytime. You can even do it in the car. Yeah. You can't get arrested for that. You can't watch this show in the car, but you can listen to it. There you go. There's all the different bowls. The cat in the middle, his name is Perseus. He is the most healed, vibrated cat in the universe. Okay, here we go. Robert Louis Stevenson had an army of dream beings that acted out stories for him while he slept. He would then wake up and write it all down. Do you ever do that where you think of a question that you have and then you go to sleep and when you wake up you have an answer? Robert Louis Stevenson had a whole book, apparently, or at least a chapter. All right, we're moving along. This is the healing part of the show. Soon we will get to the interview. Behind me is Ikeda, also known as Akira Sunrise, from Japan, I believe. It's one of his latest crafts. Subconscious Story Factory. Like that. There's a guy hiding off screen. Anybody see that Mad Men? I'll tell you about it later after this. Okay, now we're going to get into the interview here. I feel like we're prepared. The one thing that I wanted to say was Mad Men, when they put it on Netflix, apparently they didn't crop it right. So there was some off-stage things that occurred. And there was a guy off-stage that you could see in the frame. He's supposed to be off-screen with a vomit machine. I don't know what a vomit machine is. I guess it's like a thing that simulates vomit. That's disgusting. But that's show business for you. Sometimes people think show business is all glitz and glamour. Sometimes it's operating the vomit machine. There you go. Today we got a great guest. We got Jeff King. Jeff King was introduced to me and will be introduced to me today, but by Rosalie Mayu. She was on the show a couple of weeks back. And I don't know how they know each other, but she was like, you got to get this guy on the show. And then I watched him and I'm like, wow. He's an ex-Marine. He was born in Rockville, Maryland. He's done comedy at the DC Improv in Baltimore and out here in the Southland, as they call it, only on the news. No one calls it the Southland except on the news. His mom's name is Phyllis. And he has 2 prosthetic legs. So there you go. So let's get into this thing. I got him there. I got him in the spot. I see him sitting there. All right. It's time. Get your hypnagogia goggles on and let's have a chat with Jeff King.
I love Neil Young. I love like classic rock. I feel like I have those values. I think it's just because I'm really obstinate. I get called the C word a lot. Contrarian. I find that really offensive. Because if you're really that way, if you really believe in the cause, yourself being smarter than everybody else, you ain't letting somebody else label you, bruh. It's not like that, Like, you can't let somebody else diagnose you. Like, if they're going to give me a disease, they better name it after me. It's Jeff King syndrome. It's like where you think you're better than everybody, but like that's only because you're just really good at suffering through bullshit. I can suffer a lot of pain. I can't suffer it.
Hey, Jeff King, yeah.
Good afternoon. Thank you for that wonderful intro.
You're welcome. It's so great to have you here. Where are we finding you today?
We are currently in the Valley. I live in Burbank. I was living in Van Nuys for a while. I'm from the East Coast. Now I live in LA. So
you relocated from the East Coast. How long ago did you relocate?
About a year. I moved out to Van Nuys in January of last year, and I've just been really here, just doing the comedy scene. I love it out here. I love doing comedy in LA. Seems like all the people I've met share my motivation to do this and try to do it well.
Yeah. What motivated you to get into comedy originally?
Well, I was always a fan. Right?
Yeah.
Like I grew up in the 90s and 2000s with when SNL was great. Comedy Central was just there were all these great comics I would see doing Premium Blend and all these specials. And I never really thought, oh, that's something I could do. I was always a joke teller. I think I naturally just gravitate towards communicating that way.
Yeah.
And then I went to school for social work after I got out of the military. I was in the Marine Corps, and then after I was wounded and medically retired, I went into that. I went into social work education, and I worked for the VA, always thinking maybe I should try jokes. And then finally, just kind of it seemed like it was out of the blue, but it had been a long time coming, and it had been something I'd thought about a lot. That was just, that random day, like we talk about motivational interviewing. I was in the pre-contemplation and contemplation stage for decades. And then finally in April 2019, I just said, let's figure out how to do this. I just looked up open mics, on Facebook or something in Baltimore. Found a great little club. It was actually in the TV show The Wire. I don't know if you've seen that.
Oh, yeah.
But there's a couple scenes they shot there. It's this place called The Sidebar. It's a dive bar, punk rock club. And I was like, this already just feels kind of like home. And I didn't think I would go up. The host saw me there. he just said, "You're going to go up, right?" So I did, and I had a great. I didn't really have anything prepared, and I met a couple of the comics who said, I could tell you weren't prepared, but you
Yeah.
just seem like funny and a good public speaker, and they just were very encouraging. And I've been at it ever since. That was going on
Wow,
7 years ago.
you got
Yeah,
the bug just like that. What
I
is
was I was like
what?
performing though, so
Yeah,
it wasn't
you were
it wasn't
performing
out of
before then?
nowhere.
Before then?
I used to play music.
Yeah.
I was, in some bands and all of that when I was a kid, and then,
Hmm.
I had a background in therapy, working in it, and then, of course, finally just realized comedy would be a good place for to do this kind of thing.
Is there comedy in social work?
Well, it's communicating, so
Yeah.
obviously you have to take things seriously, but the
Yeah.
basic skill is very similar, where you try to listen, try to understand where somebody's at and meet them there. That's a great
Yeah.
therapy term, right? Meet them where they're
Meet them
at.
there. You said
In
something
comedy,
called
you have to do that too.
motivational interviewing. What is that?
Yes. Motivational interviewing is, I just kind of name dropped it. I don't, I, There was something I learned about in grad school where it's a form of therapy that involves really just isolating a problem behavior, right? Or a lack of action and figuring out how that's going to improve your life. So the big example we would always get is someone who has to quit smoking cigarettes or something.
Hmm.
You There's 5 stages, right? It's pre-contemplation, contemplation, uh, something else, planning, and then execution. Or it's like planning. Did I get it right? I
I
know
think
it's
you did
five
pretty well.
stages.
I think you did.
You know what? I could probably get a licensing exam off of it. So, well, you need 80%. But
Yeah.
no, it's basically about just figuring out what you need to be doing to improve your life.
Hmm.
So that's where I brought it up. I learned about that. And I always like the concept of it
Yeah.
when you actually come up with a plan, and not just that, but you assess results.
Yeah.
So for me, I don't treat comedy like therapy. I've always kind of had a pet peeve about hearing that.
Mm.
However, I do understand it from the standpoint of wanting to learn skills. You want to learn. For me, I wanted to communicate better.
Yeah.
That was a goal.
Communicate
And
better. Hmm.
yeah, yeah, that can go both ways because communicating really well sometimes might really get on somebody's nerves. You
You
got your
think
point.
so? Do you find
I
that?
think so. I mean, I
Yeah.
feel like I got my point across, but it may not have been received that well.
That happens to me too, I think. I think so too. Where do you like to hang out and work on your comedy? Here.
I love going to the mics all over town. Like I said, I'm in the valley, so there's
Yeah.
Burbank has Flappers.
Yeah.
There's some great producers here.
Hmm.
Some people who produce local shows, like I don't know if I should name names, but
Sure.
there's great venues
Yeah.
around all over the valley. A friend of mine, she produces one over at what's it called? The Fox and Hounds
Mm.
bar on
Hmm.
Ventura
I've heard
Boulevard.
of it.
I
Yeah.
just got to do their Christmas show. That was really
Cool.
fun. And then Ryan, he does the Corbin Bowl. I go all over there. And then of course
Cool.
on the other side of the hill, there's the
Yeah.
Comedy Store, Laugh Factory. And those places, those big name clubs,
Hmm.
you get a little intimidated when you're a new comic, especially out of towner, but
Yeah.
what I found very quickly, they're very supportive there. Like the
It seems
bookers,
like
the door guys, yeah,
yeah.
they'll work with you. They want shows to be good,
Hmm.
and if you want to be part of that, I think if they see that in you, it seems like everywhere around here, they just say, "Hey, you want to make it a good show? Welcome aboard." And I love
Yeah.
that attitude.
I love that attitude too. It seems like there's a prevailing good attitude in the culture here. I don't know. I don't think it's always been like that, but I think it's like that now. Like people have a
It
real
wasn't
positive
like that in
attitude.
Baltimore when I
Yeah.
started in
Hmm.
2019. But over the years in that town, I noticed more people were starting comedy, newer comics that just seemed to do it for what I would say, I don't know, if right reasons, wrong reasons, but reasons I could kind of get with,
Yeah.
like, oh, I want to be funny. I have this stupid little thing I want to say and want to get it right. I don't know. Coming from liberal arts, social work background, you like seeing people just just putting a little effort in, but in a way that's like self-improving and they just care. I like being around that. I had a professor for a public policy course who just he always encouraged us find people that are enthusiastic and be
Yeah, that's
enthusiastic.
such a good point. Find people there who are enthusiastic and be enthusiastic. It makes so much sense. Sometimes you go to an open mic and you can just feel it in the room that everybody's just a downer.
Yeah.
You
Oh
have to
yeah.
try
I
and
like
like
those too.
bring it up.
I like that challenge for
Yeah, it
sure.
is kind of a
Yeah.
challenge, isn't it?
If you're the one who's improving people, I mean, your goal, and this was another thing a guy said to me when I first started. He said, it sounded kind of corny, but he said, you're like a reverend. You're kind of in church and,
Yeah.
you're trying to like help people's spirits a little bit. And that stuck with me. Just that seemed kind of, it's a little pretentious, but what isn't?
Yeah. I know I find
it
it
comes
kind
from a
of
good place.
I find it interesting that you said that you have a pet peeve about people saying that comedy is therapy. And maybe that's because it is you're thinking of it as therapy for yourself, and it's sort of like you've actually have a job here, which is to
Yeah,
make
you're the
people
therapist.
you're the therapist. So maybe it is therapy, but you're the therapist. That
Yeah,
could
and
be.
comics try to remember. I think that we all kind of forget that too. Therapists forget it all for that matter. When I
Yeah,
every time I had a field instructor, they would I'd shadow them in groups or something, and they would be teaching, basically a class on proper nutrition or sleep hygiene. And I remember
yeah.
one time I asked the guy, I was like, "Do you do any of this? Do you practice these holistic exercises?" He went, "Hell no, I don't do any of that. I haven't gotten a full night's
Really?
sleep in 10 years." Oh yeah, therapy.
It's like doctors who smoke.
Yeah. Oh my,
You
he
know?
smoked too, actually.
Yeah,
Yeah.
totally.
And
Oh yeah, I want to talk about that. In a sec. Yeah, I mentioned Mad Men. What were you gonna say?
oh no, just what was it? There was something you said about the vomit machine,
Yeah, the
right?
vomit machine.
I know. Well, they drink a lot on that show, so
Yeah, they do.
it's
Seems like they did.
but
Well,
yeah, it's like you always, but like it's kind of interesting when that's not intentional because in movies they try to break the fourth wall.
mhm,
I think
yeah.
it's more effective when it's accidental a little bit. I think a big reason David Lynch is so popular and resounding is he knew when to do that. Like if somebody walked on camera by accident, he would
Mhm.
see actually this guy should be here. Just like happy accidents, not
I like that.
forcing them. You also
I,
said the Southlands. I was thinking
yeah,
about that this morning
the
because there's a
Southlands.
line. I didn't know that. Like when I saw the movie, that thing you do, somebody refers to LA as being the
Do
Southlands. I
they?
thought they meant like southeast, but yeah,
Yeah.
I'd never heard that till I came out here.
It is the
I was
weirdest
thinking
thing.
about that today.
They only say it on the news. I don't think anybody else says it, but on the news they talk
It's
about the
it's old
Southland all the time.
school. It seems like a mid 20th century thing.
Yeah,
Like when things were, I like things that were named based on kind of novelty. Like I
yeah,
was down in Florida, there's something like Power Line Road, and
yeah.
I think there's got to be a tradition. Like when they put that power line up, that must have been a big deal.
Yeah, it
You
must have
know,
been. Yeah, Power Line Road. This is the
I mean,
road where the
it's a
power
pretty
lines
big
are.
deal. We could live in Southern California for a while. It
Telegraph
was,
Road. You're right. They probably do that.
yeah.
Yeah, they probably do that.
So it's
All
like,
right.
yeah, it's amazing. We get to live in the South. We don't have to just like all live in San Francisco and mine for gold or whatever. We can live in
In the
LA and
Southland.
mine for, yeah, we're really mining for gold here, baby. Trying to get famous.
Now, you don't seem like a Marine to me, but you went into the Marines. What made you go into the Marines?
I don't know
And
how to take that. Like,
yeah,
yes, I've thought about that before because somebody said that.
yeah.
Aaron, who put on that show at Fox and Hound, said, I never would have guessed you were a Marine. And part of me is like, oh, because I'm so chill, but also like, damn, I've really let myself go.
No. You just even your whole like mentality. I don't know. I think of Marines as somebody who just want to kill, 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 blood and veins in their teeth. Like
Yeah,
that's what I think
like
of.
in
And
the South.
you don't seem like that to me.
Well, well, I am a comic. That is all I think
Yeah,
about. I mean,
you're
not
killing.
war killing anymore. I've renounced violence, and I'm certain I'm a pacifist now.
Yeah,
In my personal, I don't think I'll ever have to pick up a gun again. But
yeah.
no, there was that time, and that's all that life is, though. Like the season, right? There was when I was younger, when I was in my 20s. I was still like this. I was always a hipster. I
Hmm.
was always into art and culture, but I
Yeah.
also, I was raised in the DC area, so you know, you there's an undercurrent of patriotism in the
Is there?
Mid-Atlantic.
Is
Here
there
too. I think here too. Oh yeah.
in
Because I always thought
California?
California. And
Yeah.
I meet more veterans doing comedy in Southern California in the Southlands than
Yeah. In
I met
Southland.
anywhere in Washington, D.C., which is
Really?
weird. Because I figure, you think, oh, yeah, there's Pentagon and whatever, but the real like grunts are stationed all over places like Camp Pendleton or down in Camp Lejeune, North Carolina.
Yeah.
So it's a little more kind of salt of the earth people than the officers and higher ups and stuff you'd meet around the Capitol.
Yeah.
But no, I do appreciate you. What's interesting about Marines is I kind of thought there would be more of that too, more of that rah rah kind of
Hmm.
mentality or lack thereof. You know what? I met a lot of people that really were artistic, sensitive,
Hmm.
intellectual, even. It's more so than in college, I would say.
Really?
Because I
Wow.
went to college expecting to meet
Yeah.
enlightened scholar types, and I was a little disillusioned with
Isn't it
that.
funny? You have this idea of some place and then you go there and you're kind of like, oh, this is not what I thought it was. I think it's kind of true. I mean, when I moved to the Southland, I thought it was, I was like a vegetarian and I thought it would be like
Hmm.
really like a lot of people meditating and stuff like that. But I moved to like Santa Clarita and this place called Canyon Country. And it was the
Oh
most,
yeah.
I mean, I don't know what it's like now, but it was super redneck. I think they had a chapter of the Klan there. I don't know. It was like, you know what I mean? It was like,
Hey,
yeah,
that's
it
I
was
know,
like the
man. When you
exact
get out,
opposite of what I thought it was going to be. But I mean, of course, I
where
was in
did
a
you
particular
go?
place.
Where were you before LA?
I
Or,
was in Chicago
okay.
before
Oh, is that
LA.
where you grew up?
No, I grew up in Seattle.
Oh, okay, yeah. All
Yeah,
right, so you moved around.
yeah.
Nice.
I went to
Um,
Chicago just because of the theater scene there, and the comedy scene's great there too.
I know. I've heard that. I've heard it's a great scene
Yeah.
out there.
So when
I
I
would like to
moved,
explore it. I
yeah.
try not to interrupt so
No,
much. It's a
no,
New Year's
please.
resolution.
You're the guy. You're the guy. I'm the one who's not supposed to interrupt.
Um, No, I just, well, that's something kind of going back to, I've learned maybe just, it's not about managing expectations, it's just about understanding them, right? Like you always have expectation. Like
Yeah.
we expected LA to be super hippie, I think we were thinking of San Francisco. We might have traveled a little far south on the 101 for that because when I've been to the Bay Area, it is kind of like that.
Yeah, yeah, it's groovy.
But here, what I like is there is plenty if you're into meditation and holistics and having a
It's
nice
here.
vibe to you. There's a
Yeah.
lot of it, but but the thing is, it's kind of there's a little bit of everything here, and I
That's
think
what I love
that's what
about this place. I never feel like I'm missing anything.
I didn't know what to expect, and I came out here a couple of years ago.
Topanga.
Topanga is where the hippies
Yeah,
are.
they
I
are.
know.
If they don't get washed
um,
away by the rain.
they'll survive. They'll be
Yeah, they
fine.
will. They will. They're resilient. They are
They are,
resilient.
and they're and very resourceful.
Yeah.
But there's also, like you said, there's kind of more rural mentality. There's more kind of just what I like is I'm a suburban kid. I
Hmm.
grew up in Rockville, Maryland, and now I live in America's best suburb. It really is. I mean, it's like you can look at a strip mall and go, "There's some history there." They built that in 1967. It says it right on the plaque.
I lo-
I like that little
I
bit.
like your positivity too. The
Thank
I always
you.
feel like when I go to the valley, and maybe because I don't go there very often, but I feel like I've gone back in time a little bit because it is a little bit like preserved. I'm going to call it preserved.
That's a good word for it.
Yeah.
Yes. I love the architecture. I don't know anything about architecture.
Uh-huh.
I But that said, I love these European farmhouse style buildings you see in LA, especially in the Valley and like kind of closer to Hollywood with
Hmm.
the cross hatch stuff.
Oh
I don't
yeah.
know what it is,
Yeah.
but it's something you don't really see that on the East Coast. It's all just brick. It's
Well,
just red
one thing
brick
about here
everywhere.
too is you find that everybody, because people who come here a lot of times are dreamers. So you see a lot of
Hmm.
people's kind of dream houses. Like you see weird little castles we were talking about the other day down the street. There's a house with a moat, and it looks like a
Oh,
castle.
nice. That's
And if you go up
awesome.
into the Hollywood Hills, there's all kinds of just bizarre, people's dreams.
Yes,
You
yes.
know,
And the cars. There's some
yeah.
wild cars. I saw a DeLorean, like
Oh, you
Back
saw
to the Future,
DeLorean.
just
Really?
riding down the five the day I moved into my new place.
That's
And I was like,
awesome.
okay, this makes me happy. But also like living in Burbank, that's where a lot of people who work for studios doing special effects, production.
Yeah.
So Halloween and Christmas, you're seeing all kinds of great decorations. And my
Yeah.
wife and I just
Oh, I
drove
love it.
we kind of got lost in some of the streets out here, just looking at all the lights over Christmas. It was
Yeah,
pretty
some
nice.
people
And
just go
Halloween
all
is
out
wild.
because and they're like and
Love it.
Halloween and because a lot of these people are like work in the film industry, so they're very
Hmm.
crafty and they come up
Right,
with
and
the
they know
crazy
the
stuff.
tricks too.
Yeah, it's super
Yeah,
cool.
there were some good ones. There was like a field of like little nutcracker guys in somebody's
Oh
front
yeah,
yard. It was
governor of
wild. I liked
nutcrackers.
it. They were
That's funny.
they were having fun.
That's too cool. Candy Cane Lane. Jason says Candy Cane Lane is back, baby. It's back. It's great.
Never left.
Kamala says people take their kids over there on Halloween because it's safe and their houses, there are houses they can take them to. Yeah, there's like definite pockets. We don't get any Halloween kids. I don't know why in our neighborhood. Maybe it's
Oh yeah. Well, I
too
know like
dangerous.
North Hollywood, that's pretty suburban. I have some
Yeah,
friends who live out here. It's
it's
like
cool.
odd, like you said, it's a different time, but at the same time, it's still the 21st century. So it's like, oh,
Yeah,
we still, which is nice. I like that about this decade we're living in, where we're learning to understand, separate good from bad. So aesthetics are good, but maybe some attitudes we can improve
yeah.
on, which I
We don't
like. I
get
like
kids
that.
because it's dangerous. That's what she
Where do
says.
you where are you at downtown or something?
We're just in the mid Wilshire area.
Oh, okay, yeah. Well, yeah, you get hit by a car there. You can't walk. Nobody can walk there.
Nobody can walk.
Yeah, North Hollywood's nice. It's built for that.
You seem like you kind of fit in here really well. Like, yeah, when I came to Los Angeles, it took me a real long time to love it. At first, I was just
When
so,
did you get out here?
oh God, I guess in the 90s. Yeah.
I mean, from what I understand, it's undergone a radical shift in
Yeah.
just vibe over the last really the probably since COVID, but even before that, probably the last decade.
Yeah.
Just new architecture, people moving out.
Kamala
But
says,
I don't know,
remember when they
doing
shot a
comedy
guy
too.
dead on our block and there was crime tape across the street? I don't
Oh man,
remember
you
that.
love Baltimore.
Yeah, Baltimore. Is it as crime ridden as people say? I mean, like in the
Yes and
Wire
no.
and that.
Oh, I love The Wire, and
Yeah.
it's funny because yeah, kind of, but you just have to be you just have to be aware of it and
Mhm.
just keep to yourself a little. But also, you could just probably have a beer with the guy who made The Wire and a bunch of cast members because it was made by David Simon, who's a local
Yeah.
guy, a local writer. And I have friends. I have a friend I do comedy with whose kids go to school with David Simon's kids. So it really
Really?
is, we call it Smaltimore. LA is kind of like that. For a large metropolitan city, the second largest in the country, seems like a lot of people just know each other, especially when you're in something like a comedy scene, which is a little more of a
Oh
closed
yeah, I
circuit.
bet. I bet.
So there's a lot of word of mouth, yes. And people who've traveled. Like I meet people at the comedy store that I've seen in other cities, which is kind of cool. People travel through here.
Matt says, isn't it interesting how people seem out of place in their hometown?
Yeah, Matt's right
They
about
make much
that.
more sense when they move to another city. It's true. It's true. Kamala says she's from Flatbush, so she misses the real crime. Jeff, the sunlight criminally feels soft to me.
Sunlight
Criminality.
criminality.
Sunlight,
I
that's a new
love
new phrase you
that's a
just
good
came up
one
with.
there.
Sunlight criminality. Feels
You
soft.
just coined a good one. That's
That
beautiful.
is good. Now, do you have more
Now, if any of us know
opportunity?
it, we know where we came from.
Do you have more opportunities to do comedy out here? I mean, than you did
Um,
there? I mean, were you doing
on
like,
a day-to-day level, yes. I mean, this is just a New York and LA, from what I understand, are probably the only towns where if a comic so wants to, they could do five mics in a day.
yeah,
The volume of getting on stage is what drew me. But I still do the same probably number of shows here, like bar
yeah,
shows.
yeah.
It's just also there's a wider circle. I mean,
Hmm.
I loved going up to Pennsylvania or down to Southern Maryland or Virginia, but now instead of doing having a feels weird going to another state. Now it's just go
Hmm.
to another county.
Yeah.
I'm doing a couple of shows in Orange County later this month. I'm pretty excited
Oh,
about.
cool. Oh man, that's cool.
Different, but there are equal, yeah,
It's different, but yeah. Well, the thing is,
but
do you
comparable.
do you change your comedy at all depending on the crowds that you're going to see?
Yeah, I think so. If
Yeah.
it's gonna, if I'm, I mean, I try to just do what I think is gonna work in whatever room.
Hmm.
So theoretically, if I'm up, if I'm in like West Hollywood, there's certain attitudes that you just you code switch a little. Like if
Hmm.
I'm hanging out with kind of more artsy people in Hollywood, I'm probably gonna try to go more material that appeals to that.
Yeah.
But if I'm out in Ventura County with a bunch of like conservatives,
Uh-huh.
there's something in me that actually kind of wants to piss them off more because I feel like it's so easy if you're a veteran. It's not
Yeah.
that I'm trying
Yeah,
to
it might
be
be. Do you think that it
provocative,
helps?
but it's
Yeah.
like the challenge. It's like I want people like you don't know a lot of veterans probably, so I like to defy kind of maybe a little your expectation, but it goes the same if it's people that are on your quote unquote side. I don't have a side. We're
Yeah.
all on the same side,
Yeah, we are.
but people that you would think like to see people say, "Oh, you do well with the veteran crowd?" I go, actually, it's complicated because yes, I am part of them, but also I there's not a lot of people who fortunately have had severe combat injuries that require lifelong care and
Yeah.
treatment and all sorts of things. So that's sort of its own thing. Like with the wounded warrior types, they seem to some of them get a lot of them I don't get along with either because
Really.
for me, there's people even if we have the same experience, we might not have the same values, and that's okay. We don't have to get along all the time,
I once went to the
because it's
comedy store and I saw a friend of mine and his friend was on stage and he was a veteran and he said some things that were so the audience didn't know how to react because they were so dark
mm,
that the audience couldn't
yeah.
handle it because they
Well,
felt bad laughing, but he was trying to get them to laugh.
I always try to, yeah, and I understand that. And that's
Hmm.
that's a challenge for people who've been in the military trying to convey these because the feelings themselves are relatable. Everybody's been stressed out. Everybody's been overwhelmed. Not everybody's been in combat. Not everybody's been in the military, but the universal feelings are the same. So it's
Hmm.
just for me, I try to take something that maybe I've gone through and relate it by, hey, this is how I would feel in a situation, but it's all that we're just people in situations ultimately. And I think that attitude is because I'll say stuff about, referencing pretty bluntly, yeah, I was wounded. I'm never going to be the same again. It affects my life, but sometimes I'm a little clunkier. I just straight up say like, yeah, it could be worse. I could be dead, or I could be short. Or even worse than that, I could still be short. So, it cuts through it. You got to find a way to
Yeah.
acknowledge the heaviness while not letting it eat you and
You
consume you.
don't
And I
seem
think
to
that's the
have
challenge.
heaviness. It's kind of amazing. Like, what do you do anything on a daily basis that keeps your mind kind of in a good place?
Exercise is a big thing.
Hmm.
Cardio. What's great about um, what's awesome about like modern medical knowledge is it's affecting fitness. So a
Hmm.
lot more stuff is geared towards like longevity and
Yeah.
like independence. So places like Planet Fitness actually have really good adaptive equipment. So
Mm.
getting on this machine, it's called a SciFit. It's like an elliptical, but it's seated.
Yeah.
So I could just go on there, work all four limbs for an hour, listen to music, or try to like remember material. I try to like think up material, not think up like come
I
up
find
with,
it.
but
I get that.
recollect.
I
It's just
get that
mental
from
exercises.
working out. I feel like something happens, maybe just the blood flow or something like that. I get ideas when I'm working out.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, you do. And it stimulates your mind a lot because, I mean,
Mm.
you're getting adrenaline, endorphins. I really appreciated the breathe. What was it called? The breathing exercise we
Oh
did.
my
I did
gosh,
that a long, yeah.
hypnagogia.
Hypnagogia. Yes. That was something we did in grad school a lot too.
Really?
We learned about grounding exercises, mindfulness, great stuff. So I guess my thing is I don't really have a routine, but just knowing there are things out there.
Yeah,
It's like my
tools
wife
and
does
things.
CrossFit, and their philosophy in CrossFit is you don't do the same exercise all the time. You vary it, and then
Hmm.
ultimately you just have more tools at your disposal. So I think you can kind of treat wellness like that. I kind of do. Sometimes I do think I do what's making sense. Sometimes I'll be honest, I don't when I'm not paying attention or mindful enough, can slip into some, bad habits, not having
Yeah.
the right attitude.
Yeah.
Sleep isn't I accidentally got a good night's sleep last night.
Oh, whoops.
I was excited to talk about that. The accidental nature of it. I do this thing, it annoys my wife. I call it night napping, where
What's
I'll
that?
like pass. It's where you just pass out for an hour after the sun goes down, and then you wake up with energy to just blow on stupid
Oh, I
nighttime
know what
stuff.
that's
Like,
like. Totally.
yeah, I said, oh, I'm gonna take a night nap, and I was like joking about it.
Yeah.
I lied down and finally I fell asleep, and then I like woke up 3 hours later. I was like, I actually don't feel like doing anything. I should just actually sleep
Yeah.
hygiene a little bit. So then I woke up at, pretty good time today. Was able to get some stuff done before this. So yeah,
Night
night.
napping. We're getting so many new
Well,
phrases
she
for
came
the
up
show.
with
You came up
sunlight
with night.
crime,
She
sunlight
can
criminality.
sunlight criminality, and now you have night napping. I love it.
If
Did
she
you
has a
stay at a
podcast, she could call it
Holiday
the
Inn?
sunlight criminal.
Jason is saying, "Did you stay at a Holiday Inn last night?" Oh, that's why you got. That's why you got a
No,
night's sleep.
I sleep at Best Westerns better, actually.
Now, your wife, is she like a CrossFit trainer or something like that? Because I think I
She
heard you
has
say that.
coached. She was a coach for a while. She's, now that we moved, she's, at this new place. Her new gym does a lot of really good adaptive exercises and is pretty involved in the like disability community in Los
Mhm.
Angeles.
Yeah.
So when I went to the VA to get enrolled there, they said, "Oh, do you know Angel City Sports?" Like, do I know Angel City Sports? They hazed me. Of course I know them. It's great.
Oh, that's great.
So it's yeah, I think she'll be coaching again very soon. She's really good. She competes, does weightlifting
He
competitions.
competes? Wow.
Yeah, it does because in CrossFit they do like graded exercises where you'll have like a team or a partner and they grade you on how fast and how many reps of different exercises they do. So
Oh
yeah,
man,
she's
that's
been
so
in some
intense.
some competition. She's beast. Yeah.
That's incredible. Matt says, I remember reading that humans used to have an active period in the middle of the night and that the idea of sleeping all night is relatively modern.
Well, there
That's
were some
interesting.
people who like to sleep on those weird intermittents, not weird, but like those intermittent schedules.
Yep. It's like intermittent fasting. I love a good nap before going out wilding, doing some nighttime criminality.
Wilding, that's a great Bone Thugs song.
Wilding. I love it. It's so crazy.
Um, no, I get it. I'm gonna night nap tonight,
I'm gonna do some
and
night napping.
probably not fall back asleep. One good night's sleep I feel like I treat one night's sleep like a night nap. Like I get 2 or 3 of those in a row. I'm good for a week. I can go
I'm
out
always
and
afraid when I
really.
night nap that I'm gonna wake up and it's gonna be the next morning, and I'm gonna miss the evening night the part. But I don't think that's true
I
anymore.
I I I used to worry about that, but I'm a pretty light sleeper. I can wait. I mean, I've never slept through anything
You
because I
haven't?
always just have it in my mind. You got to wake up. You got to
I
you got
feel
to do
like
this
that
thing.
too. Sometimes when you oversleep and you go someplace and the people are like, "Well, I guess you didn't really want to be here on time." Like, you know
I
what?
live in.
That's
I've
probably
had
true.
nightmares. I've had nightmares where I was like, I have slept through something important, and then if I wake up feeling refreshed, I'll actually feel a little guilty, even if I haven't missed anything.
That's hilarious. That's hilarious. Wanted to ask you, it's very difficult to find your performances online. Do you not do the online
I
thing? Or did
I
I have a
don't.
hard time just
I have a
finding it?
couple sets up. I just haven't posted a lot on YouTube. I
Mhm.
need to, and I'm glad you brought this up because it's been I've been called out on it before. Like, Jeff, you never post any clips. I don't know why. I have my reasons. I
Yeah.
guess part of me is I don't want to give too much to the algorithm
Yeah. Yeah.
yet.
Yeah.
Part of it's also like if I say something offensive, that's it. Not like I'm a big offense. I'm not a
Yeah.
shock comic
No.
intentionally.
Yeah.
I think
You're
just every once in a while you say something that is a little out there,
yeah.
even if you intend it to be funny, it can be misinterpreted, and
Oh, and also
that's a
when it's
big
cut up
that's
like that, it can be
concern.
very
Hmm.
misinterpreted. Or if you're trying to say it to a certain audience and definitely the internet's very opinionated.
Right.
What are your thoughts on that? Do you think it burns material to put it out there? Do you want to put more like crowd work out there? What are your thoughts on it?
I would love to put material out there. Really, for me, it's video quality.
Mhm.
That's kind of it. If I put something up, I like this show is very professional looking.
I thank you.
It's I
Thank you.
just don't want to once I get a good camera or a better phone, it's kind of limitations of technology as well as just liking everything to be on stage. But no, I'm glad we brought this up because it is something that is a New Year's resolution.
Is it? Oh,
Get more
good.
stuff that people can see
Yeah.
because I do like being able to reach an audience.
Yeah.
And as much as I love going to open mics, it's not just that. Yeah. As
I'm,
fun as they are.
I
I'm
have
going to
a,
go to one this afternoon after
are
this.
you?
Hollywood
Okay.
comedy. They do them all day there.
Oh, I
You ever
go
do the
there all the,
Hollywood
I go
comedy?
there all the time. I like to live
Yeah,
there.
I go there a good amount. Like that's a good one when you have some shows or a bunch of late night
Oh,
where
yeah.
you just want to get some material
Yeah.
straight in your head in front of somebody. Yeah, no, I love going there.
I was there
Fourth
last
wall,
night.
those places.
Fourth wall.
Nice.
Yeah,
Fourth wall, yeah.
definitely.
There's one
Definitely.
up here too. I don't
Yeah,
make it
there
there
is.
often.
There is. So where do you think you're heading with your comedy? What do you think the track is? Or do you have some kind of aspirational goals that you're going for?
Well, there's always just to do more comedy, really. Just how do you do that is write more, perform more,
Yeah.
and try to come up with enough cogent material to string together a 30-minute or hour-long special and film it.
Do you
That's
think
the
the hour
plan.
long special
Yeah.
is the plan for everybody? Because it seems like so many people now are
Everybody
doing theirs.
know a lot of people are, but I like the format. I like the
Yeah.
old ones where there would be, and some people are doing that now again, where it's not just their set. They'll have like a little short film first or some kind of intro.
Yeah.
Those are always cool. I like I forget the name of the special, but it was a Gary Shandling special where he's in Vegas. It was in the 80s. And he has like this wild short film where he's like lost in the hotel.
I haven't seen
Like
that one.
like a little, I know I love Gary Shandling.
Isn't he
It's
great?
one of my,
He
yeah,
was
like
great.
Larry Sanders show. That show is therapy. That's like,
Yeah.
I've talked to other comics who say that's my bad mood comfort show. I'm like, I'm like that too.
That's
That's
good.
because it's very, it's not, it's a little edgy, but warm-hearted. There's
Yeah,
warmth to it, but a bite.
I would say that that's my aspirational kind of image of what would be like the ideal um, career as a comedian is to be able
Like a late night show
to
host.
be like to be like Gary Shandling, where he made shows and he integrated the comedy into it, and you saw the behind the scenes and uh, and he was always kind of mining the comedy, but also kind of philosophy at the same time. Not like he was
And just
like he was a philosopher, but he was like trying to find some kind of spirituality in it, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely. Did you see that documentary a
Oh
couple of
God,
years ago,
yeah.
the Zen Diaries of Gary Shandling? Yeah, and
Yes.
that made me real. I was a fan before, but that really gives you that insight. And what I like about Larry Sanders' show is it shows just people in a professional environment doing what pretty much anybody would do, and that's like it's stressful. Show business
Yeah.
is stressful like anything else.
Yeah.
There's a lot of emotion to it. People are really vulnerable and fragile, but still kind of like jerks sometimes.
Yeah.
But I
Well,
think understanding people is something that that's what I aspire to understand people better so I can
yeah.
communicate more. And I like right now, certainly thinking about it from next few years, just wanting to be on stage more and find a way to get better at that so that I can film it and more people can see it, just build the skills.
Yeah. I always feel like I'm trying to connect with people. Because
Yes.
when you connect with people, you could tell there's like a different energy in the room when you really connect. And when you're trying to connect and not
Oh
it's
yeah,
like
it's
it's like
frustrating.
Yeah. And it's a little bit
Or there's a half
disheartening.
connection. Do you
Yeah.
have that where your set will be mid, kind of okay, and
Yeah.
that'll piss you off worse than a bomb because
I
you're
will.
like, oh, I realized I was like I had a set a couple nights
You're
ago
like,
where it was okay, but
yeah.
that annoyed me because it's like, oh, you were just doing one or two things wrong. Had you done those better, you would have had a great set. And
Yeah.
that's the kind of frustration that for me, and I think for a lot of us keeps us going, like knowing you can do better and then you get a chance. Like having a bad set, it sucks, and in the moment you feel like you're dead. But I never really dwell on them too much. My biggest comedy PTSD comes from sets where I got big laughs, but like something in my head wasn't right about it. Like I didn't
Really?
like something
Or
about
like
it.
you feel
Yeah.
like that was good, but I don't feel strong enough. You know what I mean? Like I feel like maybe it's like I don't have the power yet. You know? But
But you
I
understand it. Yeah.
yeah, you
You understand
understand
what it
it,
is
but
that you're missing.
there's more there. There's all I suppose with comedy there's always more there. There's
Yeah,
always
and what's great about it is you always get another chance. That's
yeah.
why a bad set, it'll stick with you and you'll feel weird about it, but you always have the attitude, I'm gonna do this again tomorrow or even later today. And
Yeah.
you can never get that one back, but you have to have like the quarterback's amnesia in football. You might throw an interception, but you still have to keep going and you still got more to do. You know, I like
Yeah.
I like the idea, and that was a big thing I learned from being wounded and having to rebuild my life with a lot of assistance, a lot of I'll never not shout out my physical therapists and
Mhm.
prosthetists and all this medical staff at Walter Reed because they're miracle workers. But the physical stuff was hard enough, but their real challenge was getting people, young people who've been through lifelong trauma,
Mhm.
who know their lives aren't going to be the same, and get us motivated again. And that was what they were really good at. And I still have, close relationships with some of these people because of how we all kind of went. And I think it was transformative for them. They were there helping us. But when you hear people who've been physical therapists with the wounded talk about it, they do. I've heard more than one say this was something that made me better at what I'm going to do for my life and
Yeah.
learning from these people. So we were all there helping each
That's
other.
why defining the therapist and the therapy, I don't know what you call it, the patient. Sometimes the therapist gets as much out of it as the patient.
Right. Oh, yeah. Because
Ideally, I
it's
suppose.
job satisfaction and people have the drive to contribute.
Did you
Right? We always learn that in developmental psych. Like you have a drive to want to be competent, want to be someone that can help others, or you don't, and you're
Mhm.
kind of mad about
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
That's more or less Eric. That's Erickson in a nutshell. Just dropping all
How
those
did they
knowledge.
go about rehabilitating you when you have such a severe um, injury? Mhm.
It
I don't want to
starts.
get too much into the trauma
Oh
of
no,
it
that's fine.
if it's
Oh no,
uncomfortable,
it's fine. It's
but I would love to hear like what, I mean, that's amazing.
all kind. I mean, it just because every injury is different. I'm
Yeah.
missing one leg above the knee, one below.
Uh-huh.
So a lot, and had an arm injury, so I had to go through a lot of occupational therapy
Hmm.
to get to use my left hand again. And a lot of it's just daily living, just learning how to just get your normal functions back. If
Yeah.
people are missing upper extremities, they have to learn a lot. I always that was the other thing. Like you see people always who have a lot worse than you do,
Yeah.
and you just want to you have to kind of like you kind of have to keep that you got to keep other people motivated. I had a moment, and this is like one of the proudest moments in my life was someone telling me very recently, maybe a couple months ago, the father of one of the other wounded Marines,
Hmm.
he was on the phone. He was over at, my buddy's house, and he said, something, Jeff, he's from Tennessee. You really cheered a lot of the guys and the families up. And I kind of misunderstood. I was like, thank you, sir. Not a lot of people say I have a good attitude. He said, oh, no, you had a terrible attitude. You were just funny about everything. It's like because it's all about being real, about being true. So faking it really upsets people. I think being earnest, even if it's not all the most positive, you
Yeah.
kind of just have to accept yourself a little bit and show, hey, I know I could be better, and accept your limitations while still trying to improve on them.
I
I listen to a
think,
lot of
yeah.
punk music. A lot of
Do
it's
you
really positive stuff.
really,
Yeah, like when
really
you get
punk
into the
music?
lyrics, some of it is, not all of it, or even like yeah, like Iggy Pop. A lot of his stuff just straight up like pep talks.
Really? I never thought of it that
Yeah.
way. Thought of it. It sounds,
That
a
well,
lot
I
of
have a
times it
lot of time
sounds
on that machine. I have a lot of time on my well, I used to have
elliptical.
it in the house, so I would just sing. I would
Yeah.
sing full volume while trying to get a workout in. My wife was amused and a little annoyed by it, but you can't really do that in public. You know, they should have singing hours at the Planet Fitness.
You know, recently, who's the guy? Dick Van Dyke turned 100,
Oh
and they
yeah,
asked
no.
him like, "What's the secret?" And one of the things he said was singing. He said, "You got to be singing all the time."
Oh, I like hearing that. I mean, he had some pipes.
Yeah,
He was a
he was
great,
really
great
something.
vocalist. Well, he
He's
was a great performer. I like that singing. Yeah, because it brightens your spirit. And I think those times where I'd be singing for 45 minutes on my machine back in Maryland,
yeah,
I'd go out and do a set and I would have a great time
yeah.
because you're just looser, your breathing is pretty regulated, and yeah, like you're in a good mood, like
I
having
love
melodies
that
coursing
as a
through you.
New
Yeah.
Year's resolution to sing more. It sounds like a
Sing
good one.
more. Yeah.
Let's do
I
that
think we
one.
all should. Yeah,
Should all do
I
that.
will be. I sang a little bit just in the car today.
You ever do karaoke?
Yeah, I
Uh,
do actually. There's a great mic up here. It's called the Good Night on Thursdays.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know that one,
Uh-uh.
but it's a fun open mic. And then afterwards, it's karaoke. And I like places where the karaoke has like its own dedicated little scene.
Hmm.
I really
People are into
enjoy
it,
that.
especially in LA,
This one's
in
good.
the
Yeah,
Southland.
this one up it's in yeah in the Southland. This
Right.
one's up on Burbank Boulevard, and
Ah,
yeah, I sometimes I'll do my set and then stick around and do a song or two. Yeah,
that
really
sounds
enjoy
cool.
karaoke.
Wow.
Fun. In Baltimore, there was some hardcore like when you get into it, karaoke hosts, some of them are like pretty fanatical, and I appreciate that. There's this guy who he had some really obscure music on there. Like there's this show called Kids in the Hall. You
Yeah,
seen
of
Kids in the
course.
Hall?
Yeah.
One of the guys, Bruce McCullough, he has like
Hmm.
a solo, mostly comedy, but like music album. And I just like as a joke was like, "Do you have some of that stuff?" He goes, "Yes, I actually have that." Like, because he found someone who can take any piece of music, devocalize it, and then send it back to him as a karaoke track.
Oh,
He had
crazy.
some wild
Hey,
stuff in
some
there.
wild AI. Uh, oh, okay. Matt, who's also a punk singer with the band Gas Huffer, he says,
Oh,
yeah, that's
wow.
Matt Wright right there. He says, what's your karaoke go to?
For songs, I haven't quite found one, but I think 60s or 90s, kind of more era
Oh,
based.
cool.
Like some 60s rock songs work, Doors. That's pretty. Jim Morrison and I have a similar vocal register, that East Coast baritone, so I could do
Yeah.
that. I Kinks, I like doing some
I
Kinks.
like the Kinks too.
They're
Little low
fun.
budget.
There's a mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, and you can do a little vocal heroism. Um, Man, there was one I was just thinking, and it's slipping my mind right now. Oh, I was thinking Warren Zevon. He has some good ones that would
Oh,
probably.
that's cool.
I was listening to Lawyers, Guns, and Money.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
I was
so
like, that
funny
would be a
that
fun. It's a little repetitive, but it's a banger.
yesterday that came up on my feed, my YouTube
That
feed.
song.
Yeah, Lawyer's got some money. And also somebody else had a Warren Zevon quote. I don't even know where I saw it, but it's like I've heard 3 times in the last 2 days.
Well, it's
Warren
funny.
Zevon for some reason.
Whenever I'm on Van Owen Street, I think of that song, "Rolling the Headless Thompson Gunner." Yeah, it's like a
Yeah,
story song about like
yeah,
this mercenary, but he gets
yeah.
assassinated by a guy named Van Owen. So I'm like, oh, they're really naming
There
streets
it
after
is.
criminals here.
Oh my God. All right. Well, speaking of that, we have to end the show, unfortunately. And the way we end the show is from a dance break. Let's see. Wait. It was enjoy all the sandwiches. Oh, that was
Yes.
the quote. Enjoy all the sandwiches.
Enjoy.
I saw it the other night on
Mhm.
New Year's Eve at our friend's party. There was a picture that said enjoy all the sandwiches and a picture of our friend there. And I guess on his birthday, that was the quote that they had on all the napkins or something.
I think that was his epitaph or something, like
Is
on his
that?
grave. I think he said, "Enjoy every sandwich." I saw a
Yeah.
video of him from like the '70s with a film crew getting burritos on Sunset Boulevard. It was like
Really?
things really don't change because it's
Things don't
like
change.
wow, this looks like it's from 1978 from film quality, but those buildings look exactly the same. The
Yeah, I'm
Burrito
telling
King.
you, they're preserved. Village
Yes, it
Green
is.
Preservation Society is such a great
Oh,
album.
every track
Kid's
on it,
masterpiece.
so good. Big Sky. I've come out on stage to music from that album.
Really?
Like every once in a while when you get to choose an intro song,
Yeah.
like I'll go with some Kinks.
I
They're
went
fun.
to
They got good
see the
guitar.
Kinks. Was my first concert in Seattle. It was the Give the People What They Want tour.
Oh, nice.
And yeah, it was the first time I ever went to a concert. I don't go to a lot of them, but that was very.
I don't go to enough of them.
Yeah.
But LA has a lot of them, so.
Oh my God, there's so much. Like we say, there's so much in LA. We're very lucky to be living in the Southland.
Absolutely, love it.
All right, so at the end we have a dance break here. I'm going to play. This is I play a cover song of somebody that I just think is really great. So we're going to dance it out here. Thanks so much for being on the show, Jeff. This has been really
Thanks for having
great.
me, Joel.
I hope
This was
to see
fun.
you. I'm sure I'll see you around.
See you at the Hollywood Comedy.
Yeah,
probably
we're
like
totally
tomorrow
gonna,
or something.
I was there last night. I'm going to see you. Yeah, I'll see you.
Yeah, all right, man.
All right,
see you
cool.
there, man.
All right, dance break time.
Thanks again.
He is a good dude. This is Larkin Poe. I don't know if you heard of them. It's usually two people. One girl and a guitar.
I'd fly above the trees, over
Good
the
tone.
seas, in all degrees, to anywhere I please.
Oh yeah.
I want to get away. I wanna fly away. Yeah. I want to get away. I wanna fly away.
She is a badass. Yes, she is. That
It's a
channel.
slide, man.
Check that channel out.
Let's go and see the stars, the Milky Way, or even Mars, or it could all be ours. Let's fade into the sun, let your spirit fly, where we are one, just for a little fun. I want to get away. I wanna fly away. Yeah. I want to get away. I want to fly away.
Yeah. Lenny hit on my wife in downtown Seattle. Don't you know who I am? Her. Who cares?
That's awesome.
All right, everybody. Thanks for all being here. Thank you so much. See you later, Jeff.